Hey guys, SebChief here. I've been having a blast with this new awesome game called Megabonk. I've been playing it just a little bit. I've been trying to get good at this game while also not getting help from outside sources. Sorry backseaters. Which has been a bit of a challenge, but I think I got pretty good. I've gotten a few 1% runs, blind, without popular builds. I've even broken the game a couple of times. Here's 10 tips you need to know and implement to become a god at this game. Some of these things I've never even heard anyone else talk about. Starting off strong with number 1, we have advanced movement. Time is money in this game, and it's important that you start snowballing early. You'd think that the best way to get stronger is by killing enemies, but the interactable stuff around the map definitely gets you more value. So running around and breaking pots, activating shrines, and getting items from the Moyai statues. That is, unless you're moving normally, because the base movement speed of characters is pathetically slow. As the game progresses, it becomes easier to loot everything on the map, especially on the 3rd stage. I feel like most people will be able to explore the entire map there, because the amount of movement you get from boosts, from shrines and items is just crazy. But in the beginning, you start with nothing. Getting everything and killing the stage boss on time is an extreme challenge with some classes. Luckily, there's heaps of tech that you can use to go way faster. I've even got some movement speed tips that I've never heard anyone else talk about before. Firstly, the most important one that you'll be doing most of the time, bunny hopping. Basically, all you have to do is jump, hold control, then when you land you jump again and it carries your momentum on a flat surface. You can even interact with some things like a chest, which brings up this menu, and if you're holding control and your directional key, you maintain your momentum after finishing the looting. You probably already know to hold control while going down a decline because you slide way too fast, but if you jump as you reach the bottom and then hold control and keep jumping as you hit the ground, so bunny hopping, you carry the momentum from the sliding, so you continue to go super fast. It even gets you up hills quickly. If you're presented with a hill and you're not moving too fast, best thing to do is jump, then hold control while in the air, then stop holding jump just before you land, and then jump again, and then hold control and repeat. It does this frog leap movement, and it gets you up hills way quicker than regular bunny hopping or walking. Since bunny hopping carries your momentum, it's good to get some in the first place. You can do this by jumping and sliding on slopes like rocks. If you found an item called the Coward's Cloak that gives you movement speed on hit, you may as well make the most of it, giving you even more reason to receive spanks from the enemies. Now, the most slept on movement tip is intentionally getting hit by exploding enemies. This gives you the most momentum by far, and it's really easy to set up. You should be running past these enemies anyway quickly to get them killed for free without taking any damage, but the boost is just too damn good. Obviously, where you're angled compared to the explosion is where you're gonna fly, so for a flat surface and you just want momentum, don't jump at all or do a small hop and then continue to bunny hop, or for clearing gaps, use a higher angle, and you can even get up places that would otherwise take you 10 jumps. Now number 2, take more advantage of your jumps. There's 3 amazing benefits of jumping in Megabonk other than bunny hopping and obviously getting up a short distance. The first benefit is dodging. You'd be surprised at how much you can move and dodge just from bunny hopping and moving your mouse. You can weave through enemies and obstacles and make jumps around things that would otherwise be impossible to do, like here. The second benefit you should be taking advantage of when jumping is scouting. When jumping, it's a great opportunity to look around and decide on where to go. I'll be talking about more of this in the next tip. And third benefit of jumping is kiting. There's a few weapons in this game that unfortunately require you to do something to hit the enemy. Crazy, right? Axes and swords in particular only shoot in front of you. Many are quick to call these items garbage early game, but I think they're the opposite. They're insanely strong compared to other weapons when you actually hit the enemy, and this can be most consistently done with kiting. And if you use kiting, you can do this without having to worry about slowing down too much. When you're moving around the map, consider swiping at some idiots for some free gold by turning around quickly mid-jump with your directional keys. But most importantly, when fighting larger enemies like bosses, kite around them and aim at the enemy just before you shoot. This is only possible thanks to jumping. Otherwise, if you're moving in the direction that you want to without jumping, you'd be missing all your shots and you'd be wasting valuable time. If you want to hit the enemies without jumping, you'd stop moving and potentially get oofed and at least lose health for free. Okay, here's a big tip, and I'm not talking about mega chads. It's number 3, routing. As I said before, getting every lootable thing on the first stage is near impossible on some classes, especially without routing. Without a plan on where you're going, you'll go in circles and waste potentially a lot of time going over already cleared areas when you could be getting stonks. First, I recommend going into settings and turning map rotation off. This helps keep your bearing. What I personally love to do is go on the edge and follow the side until doing a full loop, then clearing out the middle, but that's not often what happens. Sometimes there's impossible to traverse cliffs, and I don't have 20 extra jumps at the beginning, but more often I just see something I really want. I can't resist it, man. If you spawn and you see a Moai statue or a shady salesman or a free chest, it's a good idea to go over and check it out. The things you can get from it can be insane compared to going on the side, potentially seeing nothing special for ages. Getting a really good item early can snowball you insanely. That's what the top leaderboard runs rely on. Checking a shady salesman early straight away when you have no money sounds dumb, but they could have something insane like a soul harvester or a cheap key or wrench. In that case, you can plan a route where you go beside the path that you took to get to the shady guy and then make a loop back, just big enough in your opinion where you'd be able to afford the item. This takes some experience to make the judgment, but if it's something like 30 gold, all you need is a few pots on average, and if it's something like 250 gold, I take a loop around into a corner and back like this. If you're looking for pain and loot like me, you might be trying to get as many bosses to spawn as possible at the 7-minute mark and activating the boss shrines whenever you see them. So that's something that I'm searching for while I'm doing the bunny hop scouting. Also, if you're sitting at a shrine, it's a great opportunity to look around planning where to go next. And if you're in a high up area, maybe explore the whole thing before dropping down, because going back up can be a pain in the ass since they usually have a very specific entrance. Lastly, with routing, and this leads on to the next tip, number 4, save power-ups for bosses and swarms. If a regular enemy drops a power-up, it stays there forever until you pick it up. So why the hell would you pick it up 30 seconds into a game when there's only 1 minion spawning per hour? Unless it's the movement speed one, of course. If it's the time stop, the shield, or the attack speed buff, leave it on the floor, and similarly how I showed the loop with the shady guy purchases, estimate a loop to take to still be looting things but arrive on time for the fight. Remember, bosses spawn at the 7 and 2 minute mark, and hordes at the 6 and 3 minute mark on the first 2 stages. And of course the final stage boss whenever you activate it. So prepare in advance if you got lucky with a power-up drop to absolutely annihilate their ass. Though for power-ups for the final stage boss, you have to be lucky that they drop close to the final boss. You can't really plan around it, other than leaving it there. So if you only have 30 seconds before a horde or a boss, you can do a small loop like this, just like if you're looking for 30 gold. And if it's something like 2 minutes, it would be similar to the 250 gold needed, where you do a bigger loop like this one. If I've already explored a whole area and I end up finding a power-up that I'd have to backtrack significantly for without having anything left to loot, I'd just pick it up there, to be honest, and kill some extra enemies. It's not worth walking back a whole minute for, but I wouldn't pick it up if it's a stopwatch. Fuck that thing outside of killing bosses. Now, this might be the most important one. Number 5, subscribe to the channel. If you've learned a lot, or you're someone that's experienced and surprisingly learned something new, subscribe to the channel because it's free and I'm planning to upload way more high quality guides just like this one. Also, follow my stream on Twitch because I'm still addicted to this game and I might be for the rest of my pitiful existence. If I'm streaming, we can discuss the game with each other, and if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to help. You should also check out this guy called BB Smooth. He has way too many helpful videos. Also, shout out to my biggest supporters on YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch. Number 6 is getting 1 point in shield. I don't know what's more overpowered in this game than 1 point in shield. I'm joking about it being specifically 1 point, but that's all it takes to block a 1 million damage shot around every 5 seconds. This is especially strong if you're a greedy bitch like me, taking every damage, luck, or XP option when it comes to items and shrines. All it takes is 1 shrine for you to get the tiny shield, but that's all it takes to prevent an insane amount of damage in a full run. Whether it's damage from minions, unintentional or intentional for the speed boost, fall damage, or preventing damage from the exploding enemy jumps I talked about in the first tip. But also, of course, it's great for preventing damage from the high damage shots from bosses and enemies later into the game. So strongly consider the shield option from a shrine just once early per run, especially if it's just before a swarm or boss. Don't worry about getting any more shield, it's almost useless. Similarly, with tip number 7, the extra jump is another great option to get from a shrine, not only as a defensive option but for speeding up up your gameplay. The first extra jump is great defensively because you can jump over more enemies, you can change your trajectory mid-air with your extra jump, making it easier to dodge, especially with the predictive shots from pricks like this one, and of course it helps prevent fall damage. And for speeding up your gameplay, the extra jump can help you with getting over more obstacles, clearing gaps, jumping up onto obstacles and then onto walls instead of going around, jumping up onto higher ground earlier. So the first extra jump is worth a lot, but even a second extra jump can be nice because it allows for more mid-air dodging. It allows you to jump up this very common height, which can speed up gameplay a lot, and it helps you clear bigger gaps. The first extra jump is a must-have. The second one is nice to have, but not as needed, and then I wouldn't worry about getting any more, unless the other options are complete poo-poo when choosing shrine rewards like a silver boost. Now for tip number 8, reassign your interact key. By default it's E, so using this when holding down D to move right can be super hard, if not impossible. I've got mine set to middle mouse button and I've been spamming it ever since. You'd be surprised at how much easier it makes your Megabonk life. Just make sure not to summon the bush by accident, like I did here. Luckily I was busted OP since I've watched this video 10 times. Tip number 9, get XP and luck tome upgrades before bringing in a lot of XP, or picking up items. If you have a lot of XP on the floor, like after a swarm, and you're planning to pick it up manually, or it's around the map and you're about to use a magnet, or you're about to pick up items, it increases the value of taking luck or XP tomes, since there'll be most likely a lot of XP coming in, and luck helps you get better item choices when presented with items. Luck and XP tomes are already one of the best, if not the best tomes in the game, so in these situations they're even better. Similarly, and lastly, for tip number 10, you can defeat the stage boss late for an extra valuable free sucking. Now you have to be quite experienced to be able to do this, so luckily you're planning to watch this video at least 10 times, but it's great if you can kill the stage boss like 1 minute after this final swarm begins. It takes a lot of experience to be able to judge if you can do this based on the amount of bosses that will spawn, what class you're playing, what items you've gotten so far, how far you're away from the boss, when the final swarm is about to start. So it takes quite a bit of gaming with a specific class to be able to judge when you'll be able to do this. But when you are doing this, just kill every boss except for one and leave it on low health. You can even change your targeting settings to the closest enemy so you don't kill the last low health boss by accident. Then kill as many ghosts as you can, and then just before the 1 minute mark where it's almost impossible to stay alive while walking around, finish off the last boss. All this XP would be so hard to pick up normally, but thanks to the magnet effect you get from killing the stage boss, it guarantees you get all of it with no extra effort. Just remember to turn smart targeting back on. Then you can sit at the gate for a bit more extra money and kills. Just make sure you enter the next area before you get demolished by ghosts. I can do this consistently now, and if you do this setup, you're guaranteed to have a good run, even if you didn't have spectacular RNG with items in the beginning. What a fucking sexy game this is. Expect more Megabonk videos from me, and don't worry, Realm videos will still come. Thanks for watching, remember to subscribe and like the video for more. Peace.